Welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. We're just 29 days away from the election. The election is coming up. Are you getting excited yet? I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking already. You're saying, Drayton, I'm pretty excited about the election, but hey, buddy, who's going to win? And that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. Now, how do we get here? How does this all take place? Most of us know, and if you don't know, it's all about the race to 270. That's all this is about. 270 electoral votes. Each state is given a number based on the size of that state, or I should say the population of that state. So naturally, the largest population is California. So California gets the most electoral votes. So you understand how it works. Now it's just math. It's just the ability to get to 270. And before the election really starts, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you've already got built in so many. I mean, because there's certain states that are just, Idaho votes, Wyoming, certain states, Texas, they have voted red traditionally. So there are certain red states that are they're just red. And there are certain blue states like New Jersey, New York, California. They vote blue. They're going to be blue. But there are 7 what we call swing states. All right. And those swing states are Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. Those 7 states basically, especially in this election, are going to decide who the next president is. And I'm here to break it down for you and tell you exactly why one is going to win over the other. Why Harris is going to win over Trump, or why Trump is going to win over Harris. And it's just, again, I know some of you are for Harris. I know some of you are for Trump. I want you to understand it's just math. That's all it is. It's just math. And when I say it's just math, it's just people voting. Some people vote more for one candidate than another. It's really that simple. And right now, the math is definitely swinging in one side as opposed to the other side. Because really the key, the thing that you really look for in these elections is getting to 50%. Once you get to 50% plus 1, you really can't lose, can you? You have the majority of the vote. And for Kamala Harris, that is an easier task in those 7 states. For Donald Trump, he will have an extremely difficult time getting 50% in Wisconsin, or 50% in Michigan, or 50% in Pennsylvania, or 50% in Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, or Nevada. That is his struggle. Now, he can get a solid 45 to 47%, but when you're talking about getting up to 50%, that's where Donald Trump really struggles. So let me take Wisconsin, which is right next to Minnesota, which has a large black population in Madison and Milwaukee. So with Madison and Milwaukee, the heavy black vote is going to go towards Harris. It's going to make it extremely difficult for Wisconsin to go anywhere but blue. Especially Wisconsin was hit particularly hard by Trump and his farmer tariffs. So a lot of farmers lost their businesses in Wisconsin, and some were very close to losing their businesses. So I can't imagine too many people are too excited to vote for Trump in Wisconsin. So breaking it down that simply, Wisconsin is blue and will vote blue for Harris. Now, the next state to talk about is Michigan. And once again, Michigan went through a Republican president. And Michigan didn't exactly prosper under Trump. Once again, the state languished. And now they have that memory. And coming into this election, it's really in Michigan, it's kind of all about Detroit, because Detroit is 3 times larger than any other city in Michigan. And the black vote and youth vote in Detroit is going to be huge. So once again, I just can't see Trump getting anywhere near 50% in Detroit. So for that reason and that reason alone, other than the fact that Detroit is simply going to build up numbers too high, again, blue for Harris. Now, with those 2 states being blue, it puts her within reach of getting the magical 270 number. And the place that I believe gives her that magical 270 number, the next on the list, is Pennsylvania. And I know Pennsylvania has been hotly contested, but the ground game from the tens of thousands of volunteers in Pennsylvania is just too much to overcome. It's just too much. And when I say too much, the vote coming out of Pittsburgh and out of Philadelphia, again, the black vote out of these 2 areas is going to be huge. We're talking about a net of maybe 650,000 votes just out of those 2 areas, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. So Pennsylvania, yeah, Pennsylvania's blue too. Now, if we just stop right there, do you know what her delegate count is? How many electoral votes she has? She has 270 electoral votes after Pennsylvania. After winning those 3 states, it's essentially over. The election is over right there. She's at 270. Really doesn't matter what happens in the rest of the country, but let's continue to talk about that. Let's continue to talk about North Carolina, because North Carolina barely voted for Trump last time against Biden, but this time, again, Charlotte is going to be huge with the black vote, and the youth vote in North Carolina this time is going to be record-setting. That's 18 to 29 is going to set a new record in North Carolina for voting. And what does that mean for Harris? It means a victory in North Carolina. So now we've got those first 4 states. Let's talk about the remaining 3. The remaining 3 are Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. Now, Georgia, Atlanta is just simply too big. DeKalb County, simply too big. The black vote in Atlanta is going to be massive, and it's just too big to overcome. So once again, at 50% and slightly above that, the state's going to go to Harris. And then that leaves us with the last 2 out west, and that is Arizona and Nevada. Nevada's not that close. Nevada, I think she has a comfortable lead in, so it's going to go blue. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that, but a lot of people are nervous about Arizona. And let me tell you about Arizona. They have a Senate race going on, and the Republican senator there is losing badly. She's a bad candidate. She's losing badly. She's losing by 10 or 12 points. And I just don't see Donald Trump making that up. I don't see him making up 10 to 12 point difference in the Senate race. I don't see that he's magically going to bump ahead there. So I think the momentum is blue in Arizona. So I am giving her, Harris, the state of Arizona as well. But anyway, that's my breakdown. So what is my opinion? My opinion is Harris is going to win the election. Harris has all the swing states. I don't see that changing, but let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Do you have her also winning all 7 of the swing states? Or do you have her losing 1 or 2? Or maybe you just see it completely differently. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'm Drayton Nay. Welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. We're counting down to 0 and we're getting really close. But thanks for joining me. We have a few more things to talk about. And don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. There's a lot more to talk about. Let's get on to our next subject. I'm going to give you a free template to get your own website. It's absolutely free, no cost to you. The link is right at the end of this. So check it out. It's your way to get your free website template. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you. Florida, 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 Florida. We got to talk about Florida. There is literally a Cat 4. Now, whether it stays a Cat 4, I don't know. But as of making this show right now, there is a Cat 4 heading directly for Sarasota, Florida. Yeah. Is it going to hit Tampa? Is it going to? I think it's going to veer slightly south. So I'm thinking more of the Sarasota, Fort Myers area. If it hits Sarasota square on, Fort Myers gets obliterated. If it hits Fort Myers, if it goes a little further south and hits Fort Myers, what I'm trying to say is I don't think Fort Myers does well out of this no matter what. I think Fort Myers, Florida is in a lot of trouble. And any areas around Fort Myers, if you're anywhere near the water, get away, get away, get away. Go inland. If you can't travel very far, just at least get inland. Because you do not want to drown. You don't want to be one of those people standing on top of your house saying, help me. You know, that you don't want that to be you. But the biggest concern I have about all this, and for those of you that know me from TikTok, you know that for 2 years, I've been saying the real estate market is going to crash in Florida. The real estate market is going to do badly in Florida. The insurance is going to keep going up. Storms are going to keep coming. Get out of Florida, get out of Florida, get out of Florida. I've been saying that for 2 years. And now it's too late. I don't know who would be crazy enough at this point to buy anything in the west coast of Florida. I don't know who's crazy enough to do that. But just think about the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. Just think about it for a minute. Tell me what insurance cost is going to be like in Florida over the next 3 to 5 years. I've already done a video where I was told by a member of the insurance industry, an executive. He pulled me aside and he said, Drayton, we don't talk about it, but in the next 3 to 5 years, people's premiums that they pay today, that they think are high today, they are going to double, and in some areas, triple from what you're paying today. So if somebody's upset about paying $7,000 for insurance today, in a few years, they could be paying $21,000 a year. Yeah. Imagine getting that insurance bill every year. So that's how critical things are in Florida right now, because and a lot of you have to remember in Florida right now, do you know how many people have insurance by Citizens Insurance? Citizens Insurance, which is the state insurance. And the state will tell you, if you ask them, hey, can we see your financials, by the way? Yeah, there's no money there. There's no money there. So even when this hurricane hits and thousands of people post claims from Citizens Insurance, where's this money coming from? Where is it? So I think DeSantis, as governor of Florida, has had years, not a year, not a 2 year. He's had years to prepare for this, but he's been too busy messing around with Walt Disney to take care of what consumers have been complaining about in Florida forever. I mean, forever people are going, hey, wait a minute, insurance, 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 and DeSantis keeps ignoring it. But I don't know, with a Category 4 hurricane heading for the west coast of Florida as we speak, 48 hours from now, the west coast of Florida will be involved in a Category 3 or 4 hurricane. And many people are going to lose everything. And some of those very people are going to be like, well, wait a minute, we have insurance. Insurance is only as good as the insurance company behind it. And right now, Citizens Insurance has no money. So if you have insurance from a company that has no money, somebody please tell me how this works. Somebody tell me how 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4 in this situation when it's really 2 plus 1. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm eager to see what you guys think. Are the residents of Florida, or maybe, I don't know, is the federal government going to have to step in? we don't live in Florida, but our tax dollars going to be used to shift to people in Florida? And how happy are you going to be about that? I mean, be honest. If you have to pay an extra tax to put money towards Florida because the state doesn't have the resources, how are you going to feel about Florida? How are you going to feel about people living in Florida? I don't know either, but I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me in the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. We're counting down all the way to zero. The elections, stay tuned. Make sure you're coming to the Dray Way every day. We're going to be talking about new subjects every single day. You got the breakdown on how I see the election. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. You got the information about Florida. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about Florida. But let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. That's the show. Wrap it up. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.